going on, everybody? Joe here, back for a video on some samples, basically. All right, I've been gone for a week. Let's get this intro and get this whole thing started. All right, so as I said, I've got some samples here from one of my friends. Shouts out to you, you know who you are. I'm gonna cover a few samples just to give my thoughts, just to provide some content, because unfortunately, somebody still has not given me the package that I need to really continue doing what I wanted to do originally. So I'm kind of freestyling this, so bear with me, you all. I will be covering a couple of samples. I'll list them down below and then you'll know exactly how many. But let's get into it. My unaverage thoughts on Rose Anonyme. This. It is a fresh, spicy rose fragrance that gives me notes of patchouli, rose, oud, opopanax, ginger, bergamot at the top, patchouli, and it's a good fragrance, but I prefer it on a woman. It does last 8 hours, which is actually pretty good considering Atelier tends to be a little bit on the lighter side. Perfect for the spring and the fall. Winter if you're a woman, and generally I would say this is for the 21 and up. Definitely a more woman who's coming into her own, the grown and sexy vibes, yada yada. If you're a man, you could wear this. Me personally, I prefer some other fragrances than this. I have my own, selection as far as that goes. So let's go to the next. Speaking of unisex, mostly semi-feminine fragrances, up next we have Juliet Has a Guns Vanilla Vibes. Unfortunately, this was not the type of vibe I wanted because this thing became very musky and very feminine on me. Very feminine. Notes of citrus, vanilla, sandalwood, musk, tonka, musk. And yeah, it was just very fruity. I got some sort of floral, flowery vibe to it too. I don't know why. I mean, it wasn't overly floral, but this thing definitely is feminine. And I've tried a lot of vanilla fragrances. This one is hard. Fall, winter for the women, maybe spring. I see now that actually I'm giving the women a lot of love on this video. But anyone 16, 18 and up could wear this if you're a woman. I mean, if you really like that fragrance as a guy, you can pull it off. Me personally, it's not really my thing. I prefer other fragrances, basically. Projection and longevity lasted actually very long. That one lasted 10 hours and a 3-foot bubble. Vanilla Vibes, Juliet Has it. My thoughts on Dolce & Gabbana's The One Gray. It must be gray to represent a trash can, because that's exactly what this fragrance is. Generic and trashy, boring. And so I got notes of bergamot, lemon, coriander, patchouli, vetiver, lavender. It said tobacco. didn't get it. But they all say tobacco, so what gives? Don't really get it in any of them. But this fragrance has a purpose. It is good for office time. I will say that. But it's not sexy. It's not the one. It's not even number 2. And again, I think they just made it gray to represent the trash can that the idea of this fragrance was thrown in and then picked back out of the can, opened up, and realized, hey, this is a fragrance. Let's put it out. Projection, weak, less than a foot. Longevity, weak, 2 hours at best. Anyone could wear this from the age of 12 and up. If you like this fragrance, I'm sorry, I didn't. Next, 2 women fragrances. Now it's time for me to give you 2 men fragrances. Up next, we have Coach for Men. This is the regular Coach for Men, and I gotta say, I do like this, but I'd rather get it on discount. I got notes of bergamot, coriander, lavender, vetiver. It had this ambroxan vibe, you know, similar to like Dior Sauvage and Jimmy Choo Man Blue and the Nick Jonas, John Barbados original blue, and you know, like kind of similar to what every fragrance seems to be now. YSLY. It was good. I'd rather have it on discount. Projection, 4 feet. Longevity, 9 hours. Age range, 18 and up. Seasons to wear this. Could almost be a signature scent, really, as long as you're in controlled environments. Not too hot though. And it did gain compliments. This is so far the only one that I've worn that actually got compliments. So, if you're in the market for that, check out Coach for Men. But seriously, it's a good fragrance. Solid. I do like Coach Platinum a little bit more, but this was good. But not least, I'm going to cover one that was in that whole subscriber's choice, Versace Eros Flame. This was a good fragrance, not as good as Coach for Men. Really, not really for me. Came off a lot more mature. For those of you who may remember way back when, in like 2015, I did a video with my Can-Am brother from Toronto, Chad, of A Gentleman's Journey, in Centennial Olympic Park. We did a fragrance called Juliet Rouge or something like that. There's the name right there. We did that fragrance, and this reminds me of that. This is a fresh, spicy, mature, green, piney fragrance, giving me notes of orange, bergamot, lemon, pine, oak moss, woods, patchouli, vetiver, pepper, coriander. It like is a hodgepodge. It says it has tonka in it. It's kind of, sort of vanilla. I mean, it's literally like they just took everything that was in their pantry or in the lab and just threw it all in there. Added some red dye to it to make it red for the flame, and this came out. It's a good fragrance. Definitely more suitable for the 35 and up crowd. Definitely more suitable for your dad, uncle, or if you're older And projection was a solid, sorry, blanked, a little rusty after that week off. Projection was a good 3.5 to 4 feet, because this thing was actually pretty potent for the first 4 hours. Then afterwards it did sit a little bit closer, but still had enough of a bubble that people didn't have to be right on top of you. They could get a whiff. Overall, the fragrance lasted 11 hours on me, total between here and here. And it really didn't garner any compliments because I smelled 10 years older. So there's that. At least that's what I'm assuming. So there are my thoughts on all of these RFR rapid fire review fragrances, my unaverage thoughts. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. My name's Joe. I'll see you all later.